Hi, I am a 15-year-old girl who likes to do arts, do outdoor sports, read, and learn about everything. What I am about to present is new things that I discovered about myself. Get ready for This Is Me, Javeria edition. Let's start off with the Who Am I inventory. My result was a helper. Honestly, I thought that I would be a thinker, which was my second choice. But the more I went back and looked at it, the more I was convinced that I was a helper. I love to be of use to someone, to make a difference. That is one of the reasons that I am very social. An example of me being a helper is that I actually tutor little kids math, French, and science. I get asked a lot, why do I do that? Well, I love being with them and it makes me happy. I'm glad that I got to know this because it now tells me that to make myself the most happy, I need to be there and see other people benefiting from me. I am ambidextrous, meaning that I can write with both hands. In theory, I should be someone who uses both sides of the brain in different areas. After the test, I got that I am mostly left-brained. My tests were very close for both sides though. Left-brained people have the Center for Language and Speech. I absolutely agree with this. Anyone who knows me knows that I love speaking, giving presentations, and talking. Another quality is list making. I do make lists. In fact, I love making them. But I am more like a right-brained person in the sense that I do not have focus. I'm completely fine with switching between doing different tasks, little by little, although it is not very effective. A big quality that resonated with me was that I need facts and information to make a decision. I do not get how some people just go with the flow or follow their gut. Before doing anything, you will find me researching and looking for that subject for hours until I have basically mastered it and know what to do. An example would be when I had to go to IBT or AP. Unlike my friends who just decided where they wanted to go, I was researching all the different benefits. I made a list of pros and cons for each program. I even went and asked people who were in the programs how they felt. After gathering all my data and information, I made the decision based on reality and what would help me in my future. With all the information on my brain side dominance, how can I use it to help me in school? Well, through study habits, I am very good at taking precise notes and practicing my information on a routine before a test or exam. I hate studying the night before because it does not help me at all. I will continue doing this for my other classes this year, especially with subjects like science and math that need practice and have a lot of information. Getting organized. This is a big one. To put it into perspective, this is me when I usually study. It starts off fine, but gradually turns more and more messy with all my notes. I study fine because I don't like having all my things in a specific place, as it bothers me when they aren't put back and I have to find them. I'm going to try to organize something more like this because it will help me not to mess up the space around me and not spend so much time finding things when I could be studying. The first time I did Myers-Briggs, I got a meditator. I felt that the results did not accurately describe me, so I redid it and got a debater. They, like all analyst personalities, are on a constant search for knowledge, but the only difference is that they like analyzing ideas from all sides. I am a very easygoing person, and I can always find a way to talk to someone no matter the personality type. As a debater, I tend to have good arguments and talk to people about random topics. I sometimes talk to my dad about why water systems need to be changed. Strengths as a debater include being able to think quickly. I especially find this out whenever I'm competing or in a game or a debate. I'm able to quickly recall something and make decisions. This helps me whenever we have exams or tests because all of my knowledge is not lost and in presentations, and I am able to present with lots of energy. Another strength of mine is that I'm very original. On projects, I think of new and creative ways to present something. When I was doing my capstone, instead of creating a poster like everyone else did, I created a 3D model of an earthquake alarm that actually worked. Of course, everyone has their strengths along with their weaknesses. As a debater, my personality type can find it hard to focus. This is because our minds are so adapted to creating new and exciting ideas that once they think of a new one, the other ones won't follow along. I can say with great certainty that this describes me. This is the case when I am doing my projects at school. I can be working on my French project, but I suddenly have an idea for English. This way, I end up continuously switching between different subjects and ideas. I will work hard on this weakness by sticking to one project for a set period of time, such as 20 minutes, and then I can continue working on it the next day. According to the Myers-Briggs test, I am an extrovert. An extrovert is someone described as someone who tends to seek out social stimulation and gets energy from being around others. On the scale of introversion and extroversion, I have to say that I am near the middle, or an ambivert. One of the main things that extroverts like are parties. I do not like parties because I find them tiring and draining my energy. There's just way too many people that I constantly have to talk to. However, I am an extrovert in the way that I like hanging out with friends, and I'm described as someone who is bright and full of energy. Instead of reading a book over the weekend or spending it by myself, I would much rather spend it with others, whether it be a hike with a family or going shopping with my friends. It's just that I like a closer circle of people rather than large parties. Many people say that extroverts like working in groups more than solo. For me, it really depends. For some group projects, I like working with others. An example would be when we did group work in careers class for the game where we had to find words that started with a specific letter. For some people who are very much extroverts, they would like working with any person because they are socially able to. However, I found it much more comforting to work with my friends who are closer to me. As an extrovert, I do tend to get distracted in groups easily. For other projects, such as an assignment without a presentation, I would much rather work by myself. Another thing I notice is that I often tend to become the leader in groups. I think this shows that I am an extrovert as well, because I am always leading the group and asking what we should do. I will work harder, however, on listening to others and making them speak up more as well. For me, it really doesn't matter whether I work with extroverts or introverts. When we played the taboo game in careers class, I felt very comfortable with the people I was playing with, and I could not even tell who was or wasn't an introvert or an extrovert. The main thing is realizing that other people also have personalities, and working with them to help make the best come out of everyone. Another point is that mostly groups do not get as much work done. When we were in the class together and doing the game where we had to find out all the words that begin with a specific letter, it was actually harder to put down the information because there were so many ideas. Being in a group doesn't necessarily mean that more work will be done. Sometimes that work is left upon just one person to finish, and it turns out worse than if it was done individually. So working with a group of only 2 or 3 is ideal for me for most projects. According to Howard Gardner, there are 9 multiple intelligences. After doing the test, I found out that I actually have 2 intelligences that have an equal score. I have linguistic intelligence and logical mathematical. I am logical mathematical. These types of learners like to think in logical patterns and love asking questions and doing experiments. They have skills that include problem solving, questioning about natural events, performing complex mathematical equations, and doing controlled experiments. Whoa, that's long. The 2 subjects that I have the highest marks in are science and math. The reason that I love science is the ability to always learn, question, and solve things. I'm very good at problem solving and thinking of new ways to solve existing issues. When we were doing circuits in physics, I devised a whole way to connect the wires to make 5 light bulbs light up. The same can be found in coding. The best feeling ever is when you create a program and it actually works at the end due to all the hard work and effort you put into it. People with this type of intelligence turn out to be scientists, engineers, computer programmers, and researchers. Honestly, I do find myself having a career that is somewhat related to these. I want to do something related to the sciences or math, and I really want to try coding. Also have logical intelligence. Linguistic or verbal intelligence have highly developed auditory skills and are generally better speakers. They have skills that involve writing, reading, speaking, remembering information, and learning new languages. I love public speaking, and it is one of my greatest strengths. I have the ability to put together words into a speech and present it clearly and confidently. I won first in 3 speaking competitions in middle school, and my group won for our first Mississauga 21,000 presentation. Another strength and hobby of mine is reading. Books are one of my best friends, and I love reading as well as writing them. I can easily put my thoughts on a piece of paper or express clearly what I am feeling. Another aspect of verbal intelligence is the ability to communicate in different languages. I myself speak 6 languages fluently, including English, Urdu, Arabic, French, and Hindi, and I can understand another 2 languages, which are Chinese, which is Mandarin, and Punjabi. I taught myself Chinese and Hindi as I love learning new languages, and I have a remarkable talent to remember words and their meanings as well. One of my dreams is to become a teacher, especially for younger kids, and to be able to teach kids something new. According to one theory, everybody is a mix of orange, blue, gold, and green. However, there is a dominant color that everyone has. This test resulted in yet another tie between green and gold. Personally, I think I am more of a green. Green people are described as intuitive thinking people. They seek competence in themselves, and they love to understand and learn more. I am a person who loves to learn more about any subject. I think this is my main quality that allows me to find something interesting in every subject or course that I take. Sometimes I will just be reading any book on astrophysics because it seems interesting. On the other hand, I might also be reading about the effects of World War II. The same way, sometimes I spend hours thinking up ways to solve water filtration problems or how to help patients who have specific health concerns. I am a pure researcher, someone who will do a huge amount of research just because they want to become a master at the topic. This shows that I'm willing to keep on learning, as I am a green person. In the end, everything links together. The green color personality actually links me to being someone who has a logistic intelligence because of the many qualities that match up. The qualities that kept on repeating were quest for knowledge, creativity, easygoing and social, good at speaking, and good at my studies as well. But I can't forget that I also have quite a large portion of the other colors. My personality type as being a helper connects me to the color blue because of feelings, and it also connects me to verbal or linguistic intelligence. These tests were extremely useful in helping me understand more about myself. I need to work on focusing more, and my future career paths include anything to do with new ideas and research. Most of the information and results from all these tests actually turned out pretty true, for me at least, and I believe everyone should do these tests. But at the very end, I am still a 15-year-old girl who likes to do arts, do outdoor sports, read, and of course, learn about everything. Bye bye! Thanks for watching, and I really hoped you enjoyed it.